Hey everybody, in this video we're going to showcase my Tandy 1400 FD laptop computer that I recently got in a donation to the channel from a friend. I got a lot of other Tandy equipment in the donation, but I ran a poll on my Patreon, which is patreon.com/geekwithsocialskills, to find out what people would like to see first on the channel. The majority of my Patreon supporters said they wanted to see this 1400 FD laptop computer. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to see if it works. We're going to see what the specs are, check out what I got with it, power supply manuals, etc. See what kind of upgrades can be done to this thing if it works, and go on from there. So sit back and relax and let's jump right into it. Okay, we are in handheld mode. Going to go ahead and show you the power supply that I got with it. The Tandy AC adapter for the 1400 FD, catalog number 25-3501. And here is the laptop, of course. I also got two manuals with it. I got this manual here, the Tandy 1400 FD HD Practical Guide. And I also got this Tandy 1400 FD HD MS-DOS GW Basic Quick Reference Guide. Pretty cool. And I got this sketchy looking boot floppy disk. When I say it's sketchy, the label is pretty dirty or whatever, but we'll find out if this works. So I got the Tandy 1400 FD power supply plugged in, and we're going to open up the lid here. Little clips on the side. Flips up to show you the screen. Let me adjust that there. Let me turn down my light. It's kind of bright. So let's turn that down. Alrighty, we're going to hit the power button and we're going to see what happens. Power button, where are you? Power button is right there. Pro tip, everyone. Make sure your power strip is plugged in and turned on. I failed to check that. It is now plugged in and powered on, so we're good to go for the first power on. But before I do that, I wanted to go over some of the specs of the machine. The 1400 FD is very similar to the 1400 HD. The FD for floppy drive has two floppy drives. These are 720 KB drives. The hard drive model only has one drive, and in this second bay would be a 20 megabyte hard drive. So this could be upgraded to have a hard drive. This machine actually belonged to a Boeing Aerospace Engineer. He had bought it brand new in 1988 and used it for many, many years. And then, as mentioned in the intro, it was donated to me. So, okay, what else can I tell you? It's got a V-20 processor running at 4.77 megahertz. It can be switched to 8 megahertz. This is an 8088 machine. It does have a math coprocessor, which is an 8087-2 Intel at 8 megahertz. And it should have 768K of memory. So let me go ahead and dim the light down here a little bit. And let's go for the first power on. Take two. Oh, look at that. We're actually getting something on the screen. Let me zoom in. All right, it's booting with ROM BIOS version 1.04. Base memory size 640K. Expansion memory 128K. CPU clock 4.77 megahertz. So that's all good to go. And we should get a warning message here. Yep, there it is. Boot error, drive not ready, because again, this does not have a hard drive. It only has two floppy drives. So let me go ahead and back out. Tilt down here. We'll go ahead and put in my sketchy floppy disk here, boot disk. Pop that in there. We will strike any key. We can see the floppy going. Zoom in on the screen again. Microsoft's MS-DOS 3.30, Tandy version 3.30, licensed to Tandy Corp. Current date and time, we're just going to blow past that. Alrighty, so that is working. That is cool. The machine is actually working. Drive A is working, but I'm going to pop the disk out, put it in drive 2. We will switch to drive 2 or drive B. DIR. That should work. And look at that. Both floppy drives work. That is awesome possum. Alrighty, let that finish. We'll go ahead and put the disk back in drive A. Let me zoom back out. We're going to do a quick Control-Alt-Delete. Control-Alt-Delete. Rebooting. Make sure it boots back up. Yeah, backlit screen. Looks actually pretty good. It's getting a little bit of the screen roll. That is not happening in person. I don't have my camera synced up to the refresh rate, but it is working and it does look good. Alrighty, let me show you some of the ports on the machine. We are in handheld mode, and I don't know if that's coming up on camera, but right there on the right side, that is the contrast knob. And then we have the power switch. We have a volume little dial in there. You've got to use a flathead or a Phillips head screwdriver. Then we have got a switch for internal and external. And from looking in the manual, that switch is for using either the internal floppy drives or you can have an external floppy drive. And if you can look right there, you see the switch is on internal, INT. And we know that is working because we've already booted the machine to the floppy. Let me turn around to the back of the machine. Here is the back of the machine. Right here is where you plug in the power supply, DC 12 volt. And this is center positive. And I've already popped open the little door here to make it easier because I'm doing this one-handed. Here is the back. Again, you can see the power port there. External drive port right here, and this is for a 5 1/4 inch floppy drive. This appears to be some sort of expansion bay, which is not marked. Here we have the RGB video port, and this is for hooking up, like I could hook up my Tandy CM11 and get color out of this. The screen is monochrome, but this should give me a color. Here we have got a RS-232C port, serial port for like a mouse, so we can hook up a mouse. We have got the standard printer port. Here's another expansion port. This one is marked modem option. This obviously doesn't have it because there are no modem ports. And here we've got a keyboard port, and that, yep, it's a standard keyboard port, so we could hook up an external keyboard, an external monitor, and an external floppy. That is pretty cool. So let me close this up and tell you a couple more things. We just learned that you can hook up an external keyboard, a serial mouse, as well as a color RGB monitor to the Tandy 1400 FD. At some point, I will hook up my CM11. That will not be in this video. I might leave that for a Tandy video. But check this out. You open up the laptop like so, flip up the screen, you would do your normal stuff. But check this out. That folds completely down. I'm assuming the way this is laid out, you could put your color monitor on top right there, or you could have like a monitor stand. Then you would have your mouse on the right or the left. And if you wanted to hook up an external keyboard so you could get the full numeric keypad and a little more spread out of a keyboard, you can do that. So that is pretty cool. Next up, I want to research a hard drive solution for this. The HD model did have a 20 megabyte hard drive that would go in this second bay. I'm going to see if I can find one of those. They might be unobtainium, but I'm also going to look into an XT-IDE solution as well and see if those are available. So I'm going to go do some research and we'll be back in a moment. We are back after a few days of research. If you recall, on the back of the Tandy 1400 FD, we have two ports or bays here and here. This one is for the modem option. Well, come to find out, this is basically like an IDE port behind here. And in researching that, Texelec makes a CF, XT-IDE CF adapter specifically for the Tandy 1400 FD. So let's go ahead and open this up and take a look at the port and go from there. Hey kids, don't try this at home using your Tandy power supply charger to prop up your Tandy 1400 FD computer. As you can see, I have got the back plate off. It was just a couple of Phillips screws. And if you look in there, I'm going to zoom in on the hole here. Inside there, we've got the connector where you plug in the XT-IDE by Texelec. So that's cool. Hard drive solution is available for this. And with doing that, I wonder if both floppy drives will work once I do that, since on the HD model, you lose the second floppy drive to put the hard drive there. And back in 1988, these cool modern solutions did not exist. A little more research and we'll be right back.
Approximately 10 hours later.
Here it is, the Texelec Compact Flash Adapter for Tandy 1400 laptops. You can see the website right there on the board. I will also put a link in the description to the site where you can buy this board. At the time of recording, it's approximately $49 US plus shipping, and you will need to provide your own CompactFlash card, which I've got a bunch. I'm going to go grab one that is prepped with DOS 622 that I use just for testing purposes. So let me go grab that and we'll be right back. Here it is, the Texelec adapter with my SanDisk Ultra II 1.0 gigabyte CF card. SanDisk seems to be the card of choice for these adapters. Basically, you want to go with a high quality card. So I'm going to now take this and install it in the slot. I'm in handheld mode to show you the card installed. I did try to do it on camera and it was a real pain in the butt. Part of the problem is there are these little tracks. Let me point to them here. You can see little tracks here. Here, not really tracks, but guides to get the board to line up just right to go in there to the connector. But it's plugged in and it is ready to go. So now I'm going to hook up power again and see if this will boot off of the CF card with DOS 6.22. It's now the moment of truth. I've got the laptop plugged into the power strip plugged into the wall. I have confirmed the power strip is turned on. The little red light's on in the switch. All that's left to do now is power on the laptop. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right, the computer is coming up with the normal BIOS 1.04. So that's a good sign. RAM check. There's the XT-IDE Universal BIOS, good sign. Booting from C, starting MS-DOS, that's awesome. Cool, current date, current time, DOS 6.22 and a C prompt. That is a success in my book. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video now because it's getting a little longer than I like to make my videos. But there will be a part 2 to this Tandy 1400 FD computer soon, where I will load up some software on the compact flash card. I will connect up my CM11 RGB color monitor, and we'll explore this computer a little bit more. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, thumbs up would be great. Like and subscribe. Check out the links in my description to friends of the channel. And with that, stay safe, stay healthy, and we will see you in the next video.